Hello, thanks for watching this video on time and billing in QuickBooks. I'm using Premier Accountant Edition. Even Pro can do some of this. Premier and Enterprise have a little more. I'll be pointing that out as we go. And it's just canned out of the box stuff using the weekly timesheet or single time activity and how you can pass that time on through to an invoice and report on it and even go to payroll. Quick preferences to consider: edit preferences, time and expense. The ability now in 13 to mark or unmark all entries as billable. Billable means that I do anticipate passing this through to an invoice for the customer job or the client I'm doing the service for. So I'm going to check that off. Also, Premier and above have the ability to create invoices from a list of time and expenses. So you can even batch invoice for time and expense. As of last year, 2012, QuickBooks Pro will not have this option, but you can add time, of course, to an invoice in Pro. And I have payroll turned on, not that you need that. You could just have some 1099 vendors. All right, so those are the key preferences to consider. Also, there is a billing rate level list. I have done a fixed rate. If you assign this particular vendor or employee, that's what the rate you'll be there to charge the customer. Prevents you from having to create sub items for, some holiday rate or something like that. Just use a billing rate level. Similar to price levels, billing rate levels actually are assigned to your vendors and your employees. So I also have one for a per item, or service item billing rate. Installation instead of $35 is $30. So if my employee, if I were to go to the employee center here, happen to have a billing rate of, holiday, it would be $30 an hour for them that I'm going to bill my client. I might have a vendor that has a different billing rate. I think there's a subcontracted labor, so that's the one that's $19.87, $19.87 an hour. That'll be on the invoice when I assign them to a particular job. So where do you go to assign them though? A couple of places, and this is just kind of out of the box, not using a third-party solution, which there are plenty. But I'm going to use, QuickBooks even has an old QuickBooks timer that's on the CD you can install, which is a desktop utility that would do this too. So your staff wouldn't have to be in QuickBooks. Right? However, I'm just going to use on the enter time, weekly timesheet and single time activity. So weekly timesheet, and I'm going to go ahead and do multiple because I can do batch timesheets for both Elizabeth, Dan, and Greg. Click OK, and I'll choose the particular job. Notice the billable box is checked by default by that preference, and I choose installation, and we'll just say they did, 40 hours. Yes, it's going to bark at me because it's over 24, but either way, right? And click Save and Close, and that'll be, I'm in a sample file clearly. Okay. You can report on the time under jobs, time, and mileage, time by job detail, or time by name, or even summary if you want to. And so here's my hours towards Radio Free QuickBooks here. Okay. There's also the ability to enter a single time activity for a particular subcontractor. And I'll do it this way as well. And the service item this time is installation, and say they did, 2 hours. Put in some notes if you want in a class, and I'm going to check it as billable. Save and close. So now I have 2 more hours. So whether you use the weekly timesheet or the single time entry, either way. So let's look at how it resolves itself. I'm going to go to Window, Close All, and make it a little cleaner there. Okay, customers invoice for time and expenses. And here's RFQ. Right, all this time can go to an invoice, and you can specifically select, this is if you're going to batch invoice, but I'm just going to do the one for RFQ. Create the invoice, and here is the invoice, and notice the rate because one of my employees was assigned as the holiday rate. Now, let's look at the payroll side of things. If I go to employees, pay employees, and scheduled payroll, and change this to 12/31/17, there we go. Now you see the hours come over there. You just have to have the correct, period there. Sorry about that. And now I can drill in on the paycheck here for Elizabeth, and you'll see the time assigned to that job. So that's time and entry in QuickBooks. Hope it was helpful. Have a great day.